The Last of Us Season 1, as I'm assuming we're going to get a second season episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, I've never played any of the Last of Us video games. I am obviously very new to this. The reason why I'm reviewing this show is because the trailer for the show looked amazing, and YouTubers that I watch on a regular basis rant and rave about the video game, and the show obviously they like as well. So I'm going to give it a shot. Obviously there are moments in the game that happen on the show, and I'm not going to know what those moments are, and the terms that they use in the game, I'm not going to really know what they are, but I'm going to do my best attempt to give you the best analysis I can with the information I can. And of course, if you aren't caught up to the point where I am and rewatching or watching The Last of Us, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description for you. If that happens to be the case and you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And if you're new to The Last of Us like me, join me for the journey. And if there are moments that happen in the episode, and when I talk about it, I'm not clearly knowing what the hell's going on, if you want to correct me down in the comments section, it's okay. I understand. I need to know these things, but I obviously only have limited information. And if I research stuff, I'm going to find out spoilers, and I'm trying to know as little as I can about this. So this will be The Last of Us Season 1, Episode 2. The title of this episode is called Infected. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. We start off in Indonesia in 2003. A woman eating a meal is taken by police and then escorted by army, I believe, to a location. And we find out she's a professor. And she's taken to a school, and they have her take a look at a specimen in a lab. It's a sample taken from a human. She says cordyceps cannot survive in humans. And now she's in a room with a dead body to examine it, like a coroner's room. And she's in a hazmat suit. They tell her she feels sick to exit the room quickly. And this person dead was bitten by another human. So she finds out it's still living inside the body, even though the body is dead. And she learns a normal woman all of a sudden went violent. She wonders what bit the woman, but they don't know. The person talking to her doesn't know. And they want to help them. They want her to help them keep this from spreading. They need a vaccine. But this woman, she says there is no vaccine. She says the best solution for this is to start bombing. Bomb the city and everyone in it. Now she wants to go be with her family. Then we get the iconic The Last of Us theme song and intro, which last week I said wasn't as good as Game of Thrones / House of the Dragon and Westworld from HBO, just because this is a theme that was made in 2003 for the game, and it's kind of plain compared to those themes. Still good. I know a lot of people love it. It's not as good as that, in my opinion, at least at the moment. Maybe I'll get into it more, though. But then we have Ellie waking up from sleeping as Joel and Tess were keeping watch. Joel wants to see Ellie's arm. She repeats she's not infected. They wonder what Marlene was doing with an infected person, but she never turned into a fucking monster. Joel's hand is shaking from the encounter with the soldier. Tess tells Ellie that they don't know what she's worth if they don't know what they have. And then we find out that there's a Firefly base capital with doctors as they're trying to find a cure. And what happened to Ellie is the key to finding a vaccine. Joel doesn't believe it and wants to go back. Joel says if she so much as twitches, and Ellie starts acting like she's infected. Pretty funny stuff. And then Ellie asks for a gun, and she's told absolutely not. I don't know. I would give the kid a gun at this point. The city certainly looks different in the daytime. They see the site where the bomb was dropped. Tess tells Ellie, due to her being 14, that she has some balls on her, and Ellie says thanks. They arrive at the hotel. It's flooded, and Ellie doesn't know how to swim, but they proceed anyway. They just have to walk across to some stairs, and Joel calls Ellie a weird kid. Okay? They climb up 10 floors. Ellie says that wasn't that bad, and Tess says, you try climbing up 10 floors with our fucking knees. So Ellie sits down and starts playing with her knife, and Joel wonders how she learned how to throw it. And she says the circus. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. Those of you that have played the game, was Ellie a part of the circus at one point or another? And then we see a bunch of people laying there that are still kind of moving because they're controlled by the cordyceps. And Tess tells Ellie that people that are infected are connected. And that while she's immune from being bit, she's not immune from being ripped apart. Next, they're going to go to the museum because there'll be another way to get to the Capitol. And they find someone dead, but it looks like it recently happened, as the person hadn't decomposed or anything, but the person wasn't moving. Maybe that's something right out of the game. Let me know in the comment section. They go into the room in the museum, and they can't get out the way they came in because rubble fell, and it's now blocking the way that they came in. And then they hear something close by, which is a clicker. I know that term. That's one of the few terms I know from this game or this show so far. And then they see this clicker. Now, it kind of reminds me of a zombie from The Walking Dead. It's kind of slow. It's making a little noise like the walkers in The Walking Dead. But this is going... But then when it sees somebody or hears something, it goes nuts and runs after you. So it sees Joel and eventually goes after Joel. And then another clicker appears, and that goes after Tess. Now, Joel and Tess and Ellie are kind of separated from each other. And Joel finds Ellie again, and then the clicker attacks him. Joel is able to kill the clicker. Tess and Joel kill the other clicker, so they've handled that situation, and then they walk across to another building to get where they need to go. They want to arrive at the Capitol before dark. That's the plan. When they get there, nobody's there when they arrive. Now, Tess grabs Ellie and has her go into the Capitol, like runs with her in there, because when they arrived, there was a truck with a dead body next to it and a blood trail. And they go in the Capitol building, and everybody that's inside are dead. And Tess, Joel's like, okay, we're leaving, we're going home. And Tess is like, no, I'm staying. And we find out that Tess is infected, as she was bitten at the museum. And then Tess says Joel has to get her there. He needs to get Ellie to somebody that can try to get a vaccine from her to give everybody hope. And then all the people that are there wake up because there's cordyceps all over the place. And all those people at the museum, or the hotel, I should say, wake up, and they got about a minute before they arrive. And Tess is going to make sure that they don't follow Ellie and Joel. So what Tess does is she tips over a big gasoline thing, and she's going to blow the place up, but her lighter isn't working when she's trying to do that. And then one of the people infected by the cordyceps kind of sees her and stands there and then walks up to her and then kisses her with the cordyceps. But as the person's doing that, she's able to finally get her lighter working while she's almost turning, and then drop it, and then blowing the place up, and as well as herself and the person or the thing infected that's making out with her. And so she's gone. I didn't realize she was going to die this quickly, but I knew she probably won't be around long. And then Joel and Ellie see this, and now they're on their own. Joel kind of walks away as Ellie looks at him from afar, and I'm assuming she'll catch up with him, and that's how the episode ends. So this was a really good episode of The Last of Us. I was really into it. I had some Resident Evil vibes, but Walking Dead vibes, because it was a little bit more slow paced at times. But it was really interesting. I think the clickers look good, and apparently they look really well, like exact replicas from the game to a degree. And I thought that was really good. So the score of this episode, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. I'm learning a little bit more about the show, and stuff is making a little bit more sense to me. My character of the episode, I mean, there's not very many characters, so eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'm going to give it to Tess, because Tess, she's kind of somebody that kind of goes out, has no ties to people. But when she found out that Ellie, we can possibly get a vaccine for this stuff, she wanted to make sure that Ellie got to where she needed to be to try to give everybody else hope. So Tess is going to be my character of the episode. Obviously, Joel was great, and so was Ellie. So you've heard what I have to say. Now, of course, it's your turn. If you're a fan of The Last of Us, which I hope you are, you're watching this video, and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, Hulk smash that like button. Share this video with anybody you know. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are. What would you score the episode, and whom would be your character of the episode? If there's things that I didn't explain well because I haven't played the game, which I'm sure there's a bunch of things in this episode, leave that in the comment section, like that one guy that wasn't decomposed. If that was something that was directly out of the game, and what's the significance of him, or he just got bitten, leave that in the comment section. Of course, last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, share your damn support, and be a part of something special. NJ Dev will return.